So hello everyone, welcome to a new show named Tech Talk with Ishita. Today we'll be discussing new experiences about different things in different domains, especially pertaining to internships. And now I would like to welcome our guest, Miss Kanishka Wadhwani. She is a PSITN and she is the 2023 intern at Morgan Stanley, currently at 87K plus per month. So now she'll be sharing her experiences with us. Welcome, Dee.
Hi, Ishita. I think I'm audible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, so I would request you to please give a brief introduction about yourself to our audience.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kanishka Wadhwani and I am a BTech third year student at PSIT. Some of you might know me. And I've got an internship opportunity at Morgan Stanley for the summer analyst intern this year.
So, like everybody wants to know that what was the journey being from the same college. A lot of us are from the same college. We want to know what was your journey semester wise. Like, what did you cover in a particular semester, and was your overall journey in this?
So, as a journey at PSIT, everyone of us know it's very hectic daily schedule from 9 to 5 every day with assignments and CTs. So, it's not easy. But I think proper time management is something that everyone of us should know. And for me, in the first year, we were introduced with C and Python gradually. And we started coding on HackerRank and doing the DSS stuff in the very first year. So I think you guys are, every one of you here is in your second year.
Yeah, most of us are from second year.
Okay, so second year tak you are already doing a lot of things like DSA and development also, I think, a little bit through college.
Yes, we are a lot more into DSA currently, little bit less in development. So we want your guidance on that too.
So I think apart from the things you guys are doing at college, uh, doing your some self study is also very important. It is the factor that that leads you forward from the others, what others are doing.
Yes,
Like,
so
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, please continue.
You go ahead. You can ask your questions.
You so currently lot we have audience from diverse domains, so we want to start with the basics, like from the initial. So what the initial question is, what was your programming language and why you chose it specifically?
So, I have been coding from before joining the college. Like, I was from ICSE school, so I had been doing Java in my school times, like in 11th and 12th. But then when we joined PSIT, everyone was doing Python. So everyone was influenced to do Python. So I also did code in Python for 3 to 4 months, or I think probably 6 to 7 months. I did it in Python, but then again I switched back to Java, and now I'm presently coding in Java only.
So what are the benefits of choosing Java pertaining to that was the prior acquaintance with Java, but what were the other benefits that made you to choose Java specifically, if any?
I think Java lets you build your own logic. Like Python is a good language. If you guys are doing it in Python, it's good. Do not switch over with your languages. But if you are doing it in Java or C++, there is a little advantage that you can build your logics by yourself. Like Python में बहुत सारी चीजें inbuilt आ जाती हैं. That is not much of the difference for me. Choosing Java was because I was a little more comfortable in Java. That is why I chose Java. But if you guys are doing in Python or in C++, they both are equally good, and you guys can get everything that you want with that languages also.
Yeah. So everyone, I would request everyone to put their questions in the chat box, or they can interact directly. We would be questioning and answering on the same time, but you can interrupt in between if you have any doubt. Okay. So our next doubt is that how did you manage time specifically from college from 9 to 5 coming? You are a day scholar. Then after going to college, you also in the elite batch. So how did you manage the time gap between them?
Say for me, it was not easy. Firstly, I was doing elite batch in my fifth semester. The entire fifth semester, I did elite batch. So after 9 to 5, we had the classes from 5:30 to 7:30. I used to reach home at 7:30 in the no 8 o'clock in the evening. It was all very exhausting, but I think elite batch classes are a little, I don't know, are a little beneficial. But then I left the elite batch because I thought that I could do much more productive things by myself at my home. So now what I do, or what I used to do in second year, was like I used to come back from college. I used to take proper rest, food, family time, and then at night, like you should give some time for your self study, where you should at least do 2 to 3 DSA questions by yourself. From by yourself, I mean, if you are doing a question, you should stick on it till the very like for 2 hours you can spend on a single question, doesn't matter. But agar last tak nahi aata hai, then only it is a last option to see a solution or see a YouTube video. Building your own logics is very important point from my point of view. And then you can manage your times by yourself. Everyone has a different routine. If you want to wake up early in the morning, or you can stay up late at night, that doesn't matter. But I think you should have at least 1 to 2 hours for yourself, doing your things and your self study, apart from what college makes you do.
Okay. So that was very insightful. Now I would like to know if you have any prior experience to CP, or you are interested into CP from
No,
school.
I am not doing CP. I have not done CP. I only do coding on Lead Code and GFG, and sometimes the contest on Lead Code, the weekly contests that are there on Sundays. Some of the contests I do attend, but I don't do CP.
Okay. So, what were your resources that you followed for doing DSA, and how did you approach DSA so that gave you a fruitful result in the end eventually?
From DSA, I think for me it was the main resource, the very important resource was YouTube. Going on the YouTube, hunting for the playlists, doing the entire playlist for. You can start from the very basics for like stacks, queues, then it goes from linked list to trees, graphs. Everything should go in an order, that wise. And I think websites like GFG or W3 schools are also having good blogs, which you can read through the questions, you can go through the concepts, and then you can do the questions by yourselves. So that was all what I did. And elite batch classes were also played an important role. For one semester, it made me regular with the DSA thing. So that was how it helped me.
Okay. So
Ishita,
a
I
lot
think there
of
are
yeah.
questions in the chat boxes. I think you would
Okay.
be taking them.
Yeah. So there was one student named Sushant Nikam. He has left the meeting. I saw the question. So if he joins, I will continue to his question.
Sure.
So, a lot of us are stuck into DSA. Like when we do a question, we do 10 question, 20 question, but that confidence, that experience that you have after doing a stack, you or any data structure, that makes us believe that now, okay, it is the time to move on. What is that one specific time or belief that comes into it after doing DSA? If you have any
See,
strategy, or how do you judge that it is the right time to switch now?
see, like in DSA, it is a whole lot of questions, and you can never do all the questions. So there is not an end to any topic. Like now I've done all the questions from stack, like I've done all the questions from queues. But it is that when you get the confidence that you are starting to build the instinct about that data structure. Like if you see a question and you can think of that data structure, like it is belonging to that particular area of DSA, that is the point when you are confident. Like you can never do everything in DSA. It's just that you should practice till then when you're able to build your own logic.
So that was very helpful to me. I will follow that. I would request the autumn, please note down these important points. You will not get it any blog, any social media site, I have covered them all. I had not got any one site that will give it so much insight on these things. Okay, so someone is asking how to get internship in first year itself.
I don't know, if I had known that, I would have also got it in first year. So I think you guys are in your second year and you should prepare for the internships or mainly placements in your third and fourth year.
Okay, so I hope Saksham you got your question answered. So now we moving to the next question. Next question is that how many lead core questions have you solved?
I have solved more than 250 late code questions and not more than 300. But for me, that the number of questions is never important to me. If I am solving one question daily, or if I'm solving one question in 2 days, but for me, what is important is that I should know the question. The number of questions doesn't matter, the quantity doesn't matter, the quality does. मतलब आप जितने भी क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो, आपको आने चाहिए. Seeing the solution and solving them leads you nowhere. So the number of questions doesn't really matter for me.
Yes, because it is a vast ocean, we can't cover it even a half of it. We try all the time. Yes. So next question is, what is the text? No, we have a question in the chat box. How easy or difficult is it to get an approval for internship and PSIT? Is it highly company dependent?
Ha, it is sometime I think, but in this case, like it's first time for me to have an internship with my college, and I think PSIT is supportive in this case. Like if you're getting the internship at good company, they'll manage things for you, like they're doing it for me and others. They can manage the internals like they're doing it for me. So they are helpful, but it depends at the situation and at that time.
So, what are your perks that you are getting as an intern from the college that you are getting perks? We know about how much the Morgan Stanley pays, but what is the perks you are getting from the college that will motivate us in the next year to catch up to you?
See, you don't want any perks from the college, or what is it? It is important for you get an internship or to get a placement is for you. For college, from the college point of view, like you guys inviting me at such webinars, and or they displaying the photos at the social media handles and the hoardings are the only perks. And also we get sometimes to get to miss some classes or get delegation from some unimportant classes so that we can study by our own. These some little things our college helps us with.
Okay. So the next question is, what was the tech stack and why you choose it? What was the tech stack you chose for the development plus DSA? But and what was the insight in you in choosing that tech stack?
See, I have not done a lot of development. I was more into DSA and a very little towards. I've built only I think 1 to 2 projects I've mentioned in my resume that I've built by myself. But presently, I have done only front end technologies. I have done web development, not a lot of back end, a little bit front end and JavaScript. So I can't really help you guys with development right now.
Okay. So, what were your project that helped you ace the internship? We lot of time we got stuck. We are currently doing the mini projects and we get stuck in following in deciding the right project to do for internships or mini project that would help us eventually. So, how did you decide a project that helped you ace in a lot of participants?
See, building a project all by yourself is something I think it is important. Our college sometimes tells us to build projects on machine learning or on artificial intelligence.
Yes.
I think it is important, but building a normal project, a normal websites that you have built that can solve a real life problem or anything that you know it from the scratch is important. Like something, any project that you will mention in a resume, you will be asked about that in the interview. So if you have built it by yourself, you will be able to answer. And otherwise, if you have copy pasted it from somewhere else, it can create a problem. So building anything by yourself is beneficial.
Okay. So, what was the benefits of your project in your internship, and what were the project specifically entitled to?
Like I had one project that was based on DBMS, and one project was a website. Okay, so in my internship, I had mainly two interviews. That were one of them was technical interview. So in technical interview, I was not asked about the project. Some of my friends, those gave the interview, were asked about the projects. It's completely depend upon your interviewer. So in the first interview, I was not asked about the project. It was only pure DSA based. They made me write the code and asking about the computer science fundamentals, OS and DBMS and all that. In my HR interview, I was asked about the projects, how I implemented it, what made me do that projects. That type of questions were asked regarding my projects. Not they did not really dive deep into my projects in my interviews, but they but it depends कि आपका इंटरव्यू कैसा जाता है और आपका इंटरव्यूअर आपसे किस हद तक प्रोजेक्ट्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट इन योर रेज्यूमे.
So we have two questions in the chat box. One question is from someone from first year. He's asking, I wanted to ask how to read best results from platforms like GFG, HackerRank, LeetCode, etc.
All the three platforms are very nice. Like when I initially started coding or doing DSA, I used to do HackerRank, and when I thought that I've done almost mm, too much practice on HackerRank, then I moved gradually to the LeetCode. LeetCode is, I think, is a very stable platform. Like it has a range of questions ranging from medium to high. Easy ones are also important. So if you are a beginner, you should start from easy level questions, then gradually moving it from easy to medium, and then high level questions. And I think GFG is also a very good resource. Like on GFG you get very useful blogs, you can read regarding different various questions, and other important fundamentals of the programming languages also you can read. There is very good on GFG.
Okay, so next question is, how did you apply for your internships and what are some good resources to get to know about the latest openings?
So I applied to the internships to the career page of the company, and the college made us aware about the internship. They shared a link with us regarding the internship. So I applied it through there. We had to upload our resume and some basic details that they required, and then we had an online assessment.
Okay. So now I would like to ask you your overall journey as an intern, like the day you applied, from the day you got that internship, from starting it from resumes to the mail letter that says now you are a selected candidate 2023. So we want that specific journey from each and everything, from itsy bitsy detail to everything that we will not get anywhere. This is the right moment to ask you. So please go on.
I think I'll be able to share my journey in a better way when I come back from my internship. That so that I can also share the internship experience. But till now, like firstly, we applied it through their career page, and then we had an online assessment that had three parts basically. One was coding, and one was code debugging, and one was aptitude. Like there were three sections and had particular amount of time for each section. And for no, the first round was resume shortlisting. After applying, we had the people who were shortlisted were given to give the online assessment, and then the shortlisting was done on the basis of the online assessment. Then we got the calls for the interviews. Like for the first round interview, one thing that happened with me, like most of us who got the calls from Morgan Stanley got the calls 2 days after the online assessment. Like it was on Wednesday or Thursday, and on the Saturdays they got the calls, and I did not get the call. Then I was very disheartened and felt like I am not going to get, and I had also prepared my mind that I'm not going to get a call. And then 2 weeks later, I got the call from them, and I was in the college itself, and they said that we want to interview for the first round. And I was very nervous. I got only one day to prepare. Like if they called me today, I had my interview day after tomorrow. I had only one day to prepare everything for my technical interview. And then after my technical interview, I finished my interview. My interview was good. I was satisfied. And then I slept after giving my interview. And just an hour after that, they called me again that we want to take the second round of the interview. And they told me that we'll be taking the second round of an interview tomorrow itself. So I got only 6 to 7 hours to prepare for it, and a night. So I prepared for it overnight. It was an HR interview. It was, and these both were first time I was giving an interview for any company. And so that was, I got a very little time to prepare for the HR interview, but I'm very thankful that I got very good interviewers that listened me. And also my questions were very related to my forte. Like there was nothing that was out of my space like that. So interview experience was good. And after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I think I got the mail regarding the selection.
So we always say that every cloud has a silver lining. It is proved by you that yes, it is very true. And now I would like to know, like most of us make resumes, like you also made, and only few of them are selected. So you had some friends whose resume was selected. You yourself yourselves got selected. So what was the special thing, or what was the idea you followed in making the resume? Because few of us seniors told us to make two resumes, one for HR and one for to the interview itself. So what was your strategy in making the resume?
See, I think you should. There is no proper recipe for making a perfect resume. Okay, but I think whenever you're applying for a company, just read the job description and put the relevant skills of that particular company on the top, and do not lie in the resume at all. Because in my HR round of the interview, they asked every minute detail about my resume. So if I had written anything that I don't know, I would have got caught. So writing the correct things is very important, and also mentioning your skills in a proper way. Writing your projects are very important. Some certifications, if you guys have certifications, are also important. Achievements, if any. And education, that's all.
Okay. So a lot of people's resume gets rejected. So do you have any insight on what basis, or what are the minute details on the basis of which they reject it?
I really don't have any idea about the resumes getting rejected, because I also have got rejection from many of the companies and some got selected. So I have really no idea on what basis the companies are doing the
So
shortlisting.
the same resume was selected by few and rejected by few. Is it?
Ha, it is very possible.
Okay. So next question is, how did you prepare? What were the resources you followed? Like all of us know that are plenty of resources on internet, plenty of things. But how did you tackle to dive into that ocean and pick only the right choice? And what was that right choice for you?
See, as I told you that I got only one day to prepare for my technical interview, and there is a lot of resources, and I can't, obviously in one day I couldn't have done everything. So while I was preparing for the internships, or while during my second year, I maintained a notebook that acted as a record for all the questions and all the important, like what would I say, important
This was
approaches
in
to some
second year,
questions.
first semester, or second semester?
What?
This was in second year, first semester, or second semester?
I had done it throughout the second year.
So, okay.
Preparing, I started
Yeah.
doing DSA nicely in my third semester. I think in the third semester I
Okay.
started doing DSA, and then only I started maintaining a record of all the questions, not writing down the codes of all the questions, like basically some approaches that are important, like two pointers or stacks, or sliding windows. These are some of the particular approaches, like graphs. And then it acted as a revision manual for me when I got only one day. And also I studied the computer science fundamentals from YouTube. I just revised everything that we have studied. Like in your second and third year, you're studying OS. I think some of you guys would have
Yes,
OS as a
yes, yes.
subject, or DBMS as a subject. So these are all I just prepared a little bit from the internet, like GFG I mentioned. Interview bit interview bit is also a very nice site for doing interview related questions. So yeah, these were the resources I did refer
And what
before my
were the
interviews.
core and what were the core subject that you prepared, specific core? Like we know that OS, DBMS are few, but what were the overall main subject that help you to
I
go through
think
this
for
course?
the interviews, operating system, data structures and algorithms, design and analysis of algorithms, and DBMS. These are four subjects that are really important for your interviews. Like every interviewee gets the questions on these some four subjects.
So the next question is how did you manage that anxiety, and what were the positive things that you help you to go through this and without hesitating or any such?
See, it's not like I've done it all by myself. At this point of time, I think friends are someone who help you a lot. Like in PSIT, also, I think friends are really important because PSIT is very hectic, and you get feeling like you can't do, and you feeling like giving up. And then that at that point of time, friends come into the pictures and telling you, "Arey tu kar legi, arey tu kar legi," wala thing. So I think
Yeah.
anxiety, I think it was a little pressure kind of thing, like I have to do it. If I've gotten the call, then I have to. But it's not important that you will crack your first company. It is not at all important that you'll get everything that you want at the very first time. But if you keep on trying consistently, like I think consistency is the key that will get you, every one of you, reach wherever you want. एंड वन थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू से कि जिस दिन मन करता है उस दिन तो सब पढ़ते हैं, ठीक है, मन करने वाले दिन पढ़ना इज इजी. बट जिस दिन मन नहीं करे उस दिन भी पढ़ो. दैट इज व्हाट कंसिस्टेंसी इज. लाइक तुम्हारा रोज मन नहीं करेगा कि तुम कुछ करो, बट यू शुड हैव अ गोल फॉर अ डे कि मुझे एक दिन में इतना काम तो करना ही है. एंड दैट इज व्हाट, drop by drop, every day if you do a little question, a one question a day, if you do, it will make a lot after your second year.
Okay, so we have a question. What was the general flow of interview like after DSA? What did they specifically ask you?
The flow, like first of all they asked the general questions about, like I told them at that I code in Java. So they first start the general questions about Java, like fundamentals of Java, like oops concepts. They made me write 2 to 3, I think 4 codes they made me write, basic questions and polymorphism codes like that. And then they started asking me about the OS questions, based on computer science fundamentals, some DBMS questions, some general personality related questions also they asked me in the technical interview as well. And it went that ways. And it was around 45 to 50 minutes. And then when he was satisfied and he thought that it's the time, then he said that if I had any questions I could ask to him about that.
So that was so nice to listen from you. But I was thinking that now when I'm preparing, I also do question, and a lot of us are in the same position that they do question, they do everything. They are preparing for internships. Also, a lot of us like so Misha, they are trying for internships in first year itself. But one thing that makes us forget in this process is that we only count, we only see the brighter side of a person. Like you got accepted to one, but it could be the situation where you got rejected 100 times. So now, not
मैंने
only,
हाँ
yeah, yes, it is carrying on.
हाँ, so it's not important, like it's not important that you'll succeed at the very first time. Like many of my friends have also given interviews who I think are equally deserving as I am, but I've got rejected for this company and for some other companies as well. So it's not like that they'll not succeed. Sooner or later, if you have the potential, if you have that caliber, you'll be reaching that point. It's
Okay,
just that you
so
have to be patient and keep on doing the things. Never, not giving up is important.
yes. So we have a question in the chat box. Do you remember the DSA question they asked? If yes, please share them with us.
I was asked very basic. Firstly, I was asked about polymorphism, and then they told me to write a code based on runtime polymorphism, and they told me to code on Notepad and not on any proper IDE. So there were no suggestions and all. So I had to write a complete code starting from the class to the calling regarding a runtime polymorphism. And then they checked about some basic how strong my fundamentals were in that language. And then he gave me one array based question in which he told me to count the frequency of the elements. And then I think it was like, what are the duplicate elements, and putting in them in the list. And they were very basic questions. If you're strong with your basics, you could have done that. And then he played around with some set data structures in Java or in Python, if you know. There was a question based on set data structures, and then there was a question based on recursion. One was Fibonacci series, and one more question that I am not able to recall right now. It was based on recursion.
Okay. So, what was the level of question? Was it lead code easy, medium, or hard?
I think if you're doing lead code medium or a little bit hard, not it was from medium to hard.
So, now I would like your insights on how you, what were the special tips that you want to give us, or as a whole, you manage in everything? Like, was it you that inner self that helped you? Is it, was it the preparation that helped you? Is it, what was that specific thing that was different from all other that were preparing along with you?
I think I'm still preparing for a lot of things and I have not achieved everything that I want to do right now. So I can't really tell what specifically helped me. But as I told you, being consistent and being sometimes being very particular about things, like if I have to do this thing today, I'll be doing this today, and I might have some other unimportant things that I'll just skip for that type part of the day and will be doing what is more important. Something like you should be very, I won't say that you should be all studying always and every day or doing the DSA questions whole day long, but whenever you're doing, you should be very focused.
So I also heard from my few seniors that the online assessment was quite critical. There was the situation that it was not able to scroll the toggle bar. Can you please give us a brief about that?
Online assessment for me was also a little critical. It was not easy. Like the sections were timed. The aptitude and the code debugging round was fine. Like in the code debugging round, we had to just find out what were the errors in the code. We had to rectify it, and then we had to run the code to give the output they were expecting to. So whenever we used to put the run button, it used to take 7 to 10 seconds to run the code, and our timer also was going on at that time. So because of which I wasn't able to attempt all the questions of the code debugging round, and also same goes with the coding round. There were three coding questions in the online assessment, and I was only able to solve the two of them, and then the time was over. So time management at that time also plays a very important role, because online, and when there is a clock ticking in front of you, then it also creates a pressure at that same point of time. So it is also very important to not get anxious at that time and doing the right things.
Okay, so what were the frequency of questions in the OA in different sections, and how many
i
of them you solved?
I don't exactly remember how many questions was there. I think 10 to 15 aptitude questions, if I'm not wrong, and 7 to 8 debugging questions were there, and 3 coding questions. I think I did 7 to 8 aptitude questions, right? There was no negative marking. So we attempted all of them. 7 to 8, I think aptitude I might have done right, because I don't really know. I did five, I think, debugging questions out of seven. And coding questions, I was able to do only two. There were also the friends of mine who were able to do all the three questions. So they call the ones who solved the three questions, they call those candidates first. And that is the reason I received the call little late.
Okay. So, when we prepare for aptitude, it is a lot more difficult to know that what is specific to a company, because we have a lot bunch of other things at the same time. So, how did you prepare for aptitude?
Like we had special training classes arranged by the college for our Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs internship preparation. So in that classes, they briefed us about how what kind of questions will be asked. I also prepared a very little amount of aptitude. That was through that classes and some YouTube, because I was also introduced to the aptitude very new. I had done no aptitude in the second year of my college, and as and when I entered my third year, no, sixth semester when I entered, we got that we'll be having an online assessment for Morgan Stanley. So I had no prior preparation for aptitude. So I prepared a very little amount of aptitude. In Morgan Stanley, we don't get very high level aptitude questions. They were very medium kind of questions.
And okay, one question is there. How much total allotted time was there for the OA? Was the time allocated or for the whole test, or was it divided in sections for aptitude, coding, debugging, and protocol skills?
It was divided into sections. Every section had a particular timer, and I think complete test was around, I think, 1 hour 45 minutes. It was 1 hour we got for coding, 3 questions, and the rest of the time was divided into two sections. If I'm not wrong, I don't remember correctly.
And what was the questions about debugging? Was it pertaining to data structures or programming
No,
language?
no. It was regarding the syntax errors, and some of the syntax they had done wrong. We had to correct it, and then we had to run the code. And some were regarding to the logic, like they wrote the questions that this code is trying to do this particular thing, and that is the logic which was not correct. So we had to correct one or two things in the logic, and then we were supposed to run. Debugging questions were easy. Like if you are doing coding in your daily routine, then you will be able to crack the debugging questions.
Okay. So, if anybody has specific more questions to ask, any specific data structure you want to know. Meanwhile, I have a question that how did you prepare for recursion, the master?
Okay, recursion is a critical topic for me as well. Uh, Practicing recursion is very important. Like you can't get recursion one or two question solving. You'll build the instinct gradually. When you'll be seeing the questions, when you'll be making the recursion trees, then and you'll. I am still not very confident at recursion, and I think I'll never be. But like after solving a particular amount of questions, you can know that after this, if I get the questions of these same times which I solved, you'll be able to do it. Then I think you are a little confident with recursion. But like if you're starting to do recursion and you're doing recursion questions daily for 20 days, you can't do it. Like do questions for some data structures, then doing 2 to 3 recursion questions, and then means revising it every week, I think is okay. And I'm doing
Okay,
it
so we have.
still, and I'm still not good with it.
So now, what you are up to? What are your upcoming goals?
Upcoming goals, for upcoming goals, the college has hired the expectations among all of you and everyone around me for going to the internship. I hope that I'll do good at the internship, and
We also hope that
mostly
same.
it's just that I'll try to give my best there. It's only thing I'm looking forward right now, nothing else.
Okay, we have a question. Does elite classes were helpful for you?
I think two teachers used to come for elite classes. One was Akash Bhaiya and one was Channa sir. I used to enjoy Akash sir's class more and Channa sir's class a little less because I thought that it was a little boring for me. He is very knowledgeable. He knows a lot of things a very better way than us. But I think a little monotonous it happens after hearing for one complete hour. I used to zone out in his classes. So that is the was the one reason that I left elite classes, and I thought that I would be doing this stuff by myself. Like 2 hour after 9 to 5 and 2 hours of myself at my home were more productive than that. So that was why I left elite classes. But if any one of you is doing elite classes, it is very good, and they'll make you consistent for doing coding. If you're not able to be consistent by yourself, do attend elite classes.
Okay, we have a question. How important is it to know the language that you are coding in? Should it just be enough to code, or should you have in depth working of the language?
No, I think if you are coding in any language or you're mentioning any language in your resume, be it Python or be it Java, you should be very efficient. Like your code writing skills are important, but apart from it, the fundamentals of the language, like how the code is working, what is the flow of the program, if you're doing it in Python or in Java, both are object oriented languages. Knowing all the object oriented fundamentals is very important. So do it in one language, but do it very nicely, and you should know everything about your language. Not just writing the code is not enough.
Next question is the Morgan Stanley internship worth it? online or offline?
It's offline. We will have to reallocate, and I'll be moving to Bangalore in the next month.
Okay. So I want to know that we do a lot of things in college, from co-curriculars to cultural fairs. What were your experiences that, apart from these things, you did in the college?
Like when when we entered in our first year, it was COVID season, so we had
Yeah.
one complete semester online, and we didn't have the clubs as much as active as you guys are having. Like now PSIT is very active with the clubs and all. Now I am member of ECEL of PSIT, but in my second year I think barely we had any extracurricular activities. We used to come college for 9 to 5, going back doing that stuff, then again coming back. And we had the ignitia just now. Apart from it, no extracurricular activities we had.
Okay, so now you are heading on to your next journey. What are your preparation now, and how does it feel after getting on to this journey? Like walking on fire, then sitting in the ocean of water. How cool is it
It
to do
is
that?
not an ocean of water, it just seems to be ocean of water. The main story is starting now. Like after achieving this point in my life, it's very overwhelming. Obviously I'm very happy, but साथ साथ में the expectations that come along with this, and we have to keep up with the expectations all the time. Like every one of you guys and everyone in the college, in the family, is expecting for me to get a PPO no matter what, and that is the kind of expectations I have right now. And to keep up with it is a little difficult. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my things like I used to do before the internship. I still do coding questions on lead code, and I'm till now performing the normal activities which I used to. But I think once I go there, the life would change, the way of working would change, and I think I would like to learn more. Like learning will be the primary focus for me.
So we know that these situations are hard to cope up with, but we do not have just expectations. We have lots of warm wishes for you. We have lots of prayers with you that you will excel in everything that you do. And I would like to thank you for coming with us, sharing your experiences. We are so grateful for you that you accepted my invitation, and we have a small gesture for you that we'll be sharing you when we meet offline. So if anybody has any specific questions, they can come up, or we'll be ending in some time. So I have one last question that someone mailed me. It is like your special tips you want to give to us, and what are the things that you did and you think that didn't work for you? What were your mistakes that you want to let us know so that we should not repeat them?
Like everything is an experience. Like you get to learn from everything, so there is no such mistake. One thing only I think that I did, which I should have not done. Like I switched my language when I came to college. There was a lot of pressure, and I switched to Python. So coding in Python for 4 to 5 months and then coming back to Java, I think it took some time for me. So I think if you are coding in one language, you should not switch it over. Like had I been coding in Java from since 12th, I would have been more efficient in it right now. But still, I still do code in Python sometimes, so that anytime in my company, if they want me to code in some other language, I should be comfortable with it. Apart from it, I think no such thing, that everything that I did was important to get me here. So there was no such thing that I regret now.
But if you have anything that was that made you learn more than the, because failures makes us learn more than the win times. So I want to know that, is it something that you did but you think that shouldn't be done in that way, or there should be an improvisation on that? Was it academics or anything, not just studies but everything around you?
I think managing academics is a little difficult with coding. So I think giving a little less time. I used to give very less time to my academics, and still I don't study the daily subjects that are being taught there, and focus more on coding because I have a little more interest in that. And I think if in my second year I started development a little early, it would have helped me to bring better projects in my resume. So if you guys are in your second year, you guys have good time to learn a good technology like machine learning or artificial intelligence or blockchain or anything that you guys like, and Android development. Do it. Like it's the time then that when you can explore. Coming in your third year, you won't be able to do anything apart from DSA. So I think if I was in my second year, I would do development a little better way than I have done. That's
And do you have any experience or knowledge of what development, like in a college, we are getting on to many projects, and lot of us are doing web development, and machine learning is very deep to dive in. So, how to manage a midway between them?
I have also managed a midway only. I've still not got the answer to the same question. So once I'll be getting it, I'll be conveying it to guys for sure.
Okay. You all can connect to the from LinkedIn. We'll be sharing her insights if she wants. We can share them in the groups, but if you want, you can connect her on LinkedIn. And now I would like to present you a small token. Please, our tech genie, please present it. So, by the way, our tech genie is Divyansh. He's handling all the stuff, technical stuff behind this. Okay. So we have a special gift also for you, but for that we didn't get that media exactly. So we are presenting you a small token, and we'll be meeting you offline. If anybody has some last question, any left out doubts, please go on.
Also, thank you
And
so much
lot
for
of you,
inviting me. I love to talk with you guys and answering the questions which I also had in second year of my study, and I just wish someone could have answered all of that at that point of time. So it was good to connect with you all.
so anybody else want to ask any question or left out with something? We are wrapping it up. Okay, again, congratulations. I have some special emojis also for you.
Okay,
Uh,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Dee, for coming. We'll be okay. So Anushka has raised a hand.
Some other questions are left. I think I've told everything that I've known in my
Yeah.
entire life.
Thank you, Kanishka.
Okay.
Thank you, Kanishka, joining us at
Good
this
afternoon, ma'am.
platform.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
good afternoon, beta. But first of all, I would like to congratulate you because you have added value on your CV with this a great internship with Stanley Morgan. So I think you will have a lot of things, many more achievements who are waiting in your near future that you have already dreamed of. Okay. But I think if you get some time from your precious schedule, so time to time, please try to convey their message or just try to boost up them so that they can also boost up their career in their fields, what they uh, desire to make there. Okay. So actually here there are so many second year students, so we are keeping just like a they should start all this work from their first year. Okay, so
Yes.
this is the platform IEEE. There they can showcase their talent. They can, uh, I think, and they can actually gain lot of things in the technical field. Even I am used to say them in the first year also. Please concentrate on in academics as well as you should I think you should pay at least 1 hour for some newest technology also with
Yes.
coding. So,
That is very important.
yeah, 40 to 45 minutes coding and then newest technology, because only coding is nothing. They must have the sound knowledge of newest technology where they would like to make their career. That is most important, because nowadays coding, machine learning, all these are entangled with each other, right? In AI, every,
Absolutely.
yeah. So they must learn at least one of the technology there they would like to go in their future. Okay. Thank you so much, Kanishka.
Thank you so much,
Even
ma'am. Thank you so much.
I was,
Exactly how ma'am said, and I also mentioned that earlier, that learning a new technology is very important. So that way you can apply all the knowledge that you're studying throughout your.
Okay, okay, we have a question from a tech genie. He's asking how to excel communication skills. Please help her out. Skill to connect with people. How you manage your speaking skill in interview. I think we left it point. So I would like you to please share your views on that too.
Yes, communication skills are important. Like you guys taking part in clubs and doing such activities, I think will improve you guys with communication skills. Like talk
even
to new
I have
people.
one more idea to keep up this communication skill. Suppose you
Hmm.
want, you have a very weak skills of communication. You should take a participation in national or international level competition. There you can present your idea. So once
Absolutely,
you
absolutely.
present your idea, first of all, you will learn like how to present ideas, and there you will do discussions also. Your discussion level will also get changed, because I have seen so many students in IEEE itself. They were very like weak communication skill, but they improved a lot. Okay,
Hmm.
so I think this may be a good idea. So better is to
Hmm.
join IEEE and then take all benefits of IEEE, because there you can you will be receiving a lot of mails from different student chapters in entire world, from different sections, regions. Okay, so you will have a good bonding between international peoples. You will make collaboration there. Okay, so I think you may make your communication skill very strong from there.
Exactly as ma'am said, like participating in competitions always helpful. Like you get to learn new things apart from the things you're doing daily, and also getting to know new people, and the kind of exposure you get through competitions is very important to improve your communication skills.
So, did you participate in some organization, organization communities, or you participated in some competitions? What was it that
Uh-huh.
made you the thing that you are up to communication level?
I did participate in a Smart India hackathon the last year that was held. I think in August, I participated in a Smart India hackathon and went to SMIT for that. We didn't win, but it was an experience, like meeting the experts over there, or the solving the problems. The way the hackathon was held, it was over 36 hours us building a project. So it with the mentor, with the seniors of our college. So it was also very important, the way it exposed us to new technologies through the ways of development of other people. It was important, and it was an good experience.
And what was the technology on which you made that project, and what was the experiences you learned from others in that competition?
We basically built a website. Like in SIH, what you got to do is you get a problem statement and you
Problem
need to build a
statement, yes.
project regarding that. So we built a website, and we built it using APIs. We were able to solve the problems, but we did it using application program interfaces. But the team that won did it through machine learning models. So the only point we lacked was that we didn't use machine learning, and the model was not ours. We did it using APIs. So if you are learning machine learning in your second year, or you get to build models, or you have know how to build models, then it will be beneficial in your third year if you
And
are
what
in
was the
participating
problem?
such competitions as well.
And what was the problem statement?
We had to uh, exactly the problem statement I do not remember, but we built a speech to speech translator. Like we had to overcome the language barrier that comes in offices and in different cities. Like if I know to speak English and you only know Hindi, then I'll be us guys communicating. So we had to build something related to that that could solve such problems. So
Okay, what was the tech stack? Was it Fern or me?
we went with the two people of fourth year that were that time in the fourth year. So they were the ones who led the project, and we only did everything that they told us to do. So like we were the juniors then. So we didn't lead the project, so I didn't don't really have a lot of idea for that.
Okay. We have a question. Any suggestion for competition like code weighted hack with Infi?
I am not able to hear you. Any suggestions for the
Okay.
competitions like so for this you need to do good practice of coding questions and app and some of I don't think Hack with Infi and Code Vita ask aptitude questions, but other exams like the one I gave for Morgan Stanley did ask aptitude questions. So practicing aptitude and coding both is important for all of such competitions.
Okay. So I think we are done with the questions. I would like to conclude by saying that by saying a quote from Winston Churchill as responsibility is the price of greatness. Let's take the responsibility for making positive change in our industries and communities. Let's use what we have learned here to achieve our potential and make a difference in the world. Thank you for all the participation. Thank you for Dee for joining us and contributing to our knowledge. Okay, we have again one last question. Please answer it
I
in
think we'll
rapid.
have to keep a separate session for answering all the
Yeah,
questions here.
you are so popular that people are not stopping themselves from asking a question. You are so interactive. You conveyed everything, and you are the first person that I got to that is so open.
Thank you so much. Okay, so what was the question? I think it would be the last question I'll be taking up for today. Uh,
Yeah, for sure. Can you
can you
list
list
some
some
resources?
resources for aptitude? YouTube. Guys, do YouTube for every little problem you face in your lives, and practice some questions on online sites. There are really good sites. I'm not remembering the name. I'll mention if I remember. They have really good questions on aptitudes. One of them is named some India. Some name is like that.
You can share
That I
it
don't.
with me. I'll convey them later with my
Huh.
friends.
So there are really good questions on aptitude, and aptitude also requires a lot of practice. Like aptitude is a there are too many parts of aptitude. Like there is quant, reasoning, verbal. Verbal is also very important, in which you need to solve the reading comprehension. So for that you should be fluent in English. You should be reading English, and for quants and you should be good at the mathematical part. So practice some questions daily, following some YouTube playlist, I think it's enough.
Okay, so thank you, Dee. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's a wrap. We have, I think, covered all the aspects of this. We'll meet you next time with some new guests. And again, thank you a lot. Dee.
You're welcome. I'll thank you guys. It was lovely.
Okay. So bye, everyone. Jai Hind. Take care. And until we meet next time. See you.
Thank you.
See you.